Previously.
You don't know about Chloe and Sam, do you?
Charlie's children.
Some Malkavians get embraced and then promptly locked in a box.
Well, we'll make that our priority as well.
We know where Charlie's child reside, and we've tried to talk to them, but they're difficult. We were worried Charlie was getting embroiled with those two.
One thing that I would very much like to do tonight is talk to Sam and Chloe.
Sam and Chloe are where they should be.
Ward Z was originally called L Ward, but then they realised that sounded like Hell Ward, particularly as it's for the mentally criminally defective.
I thought that closed down.
It did, for the kind.
It is about being able to communicate with these poor things. Who knows what they may throw at us? We need to be at our best.
Starts the engine, heads towards Glenside. And now...
The road is slick with rain as you drive towards Ward Z at the Glenside Mental Hospital. You intend to find two kindred who have been segregated and separated from the rest of kindred society, Sam and Chloe. What do you talk about in your drive there?
Kevin, how is it that you would talk to someone who is not with us, as you might say?
Mad, she meant.
And not just the normal Malkavian mad. This is clearly something possibly diabolical.
There's a few moments where Kevin just is silent. He's still trying to reconcile what has just occurred, but he's also sort of happy that the subject has not been broached, as it were. He's very happy to push forward. He's very happy to just deal with the task at hand, to put his mind off of it. And he just takes that moment and just says, my experience, everyone has their own language, and you might not understand it at first. You might not be able to speak it yourself, but it's always there. It's always bubbling under the surface. You just need to push the right button. You say the right thing. Everyone talks in the end. Now, I haven't had any experiences with the Malkavians as of yet, but Sam and Chloe, one way or another, they'll say what we need them to say.
I will not have vitae on my hands.
If everything goes to plan, you won't need to.
Did everything go to plan back there?
Not the way I would have intended it to, no.
Can we trust you, Kevin?
It's really up to you to decide now, isn't it?
But I don't trust anyone, so...
Phil's just shaking his head at the mere notion of trust.
No.
Is that all the conversation? It's a quiet drive, or?
I think so.
I think it has to be. It's quite tense.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a very long and difficult night, with a lot of stress, a lot of tension. I think at some point...
About 5 minutes away from your destination, maybe?
Vincent would share what he's been reading about Ward Z.
Mm-hmm.
This was the place they kept the worst. At least the worst of mortal criminals. Those furthest from sanity.
An asylum.
Yes, and all that entails.
So they would be confined?
I would hope so.
Poor souls.
In more ways than one.
Who knows what that could have done to their minds if they were already mad.
They're a danger to themselves and others. There's not a lot of choice in the matter.
You approach the hospital. The actual mental hospital itself, the building, has largely been converted into studios and is in close proximity to Adelaide's film industry.
What film industry in Adelaide?
But Ward Z is separate. To get there, you enter into the grounds, drive around the major hospital itself. Past that is a small hill. You drive up that small hill. And sitting on top of this hill sits Ward Z. It's a manor house of sorts. Demands your attention and respect the minute you see it. As derelict as it is, the building, from what you can tell in the pale moonlight peering through the rain, is a polychromatic brick, 3-story building. Pulling up, you can see vegetation has taken hold of the front walls. There are vines creeping into the windows and trees which have grown and lean against the building itself. Shadows dance along the front. The front door is a double door wooden thing reinforced with steel. The windows are small, like slits on a castle, and those that are bigger are barred. Things can't get out of here. Things struggle to get in.
As we pull up and as we park and he switches the engine off, is there any other disturbances around? Is it...
There are no other cars. There are no other things, living or dead, that you can see immediately.
No lights shining from any of the slits.
There is one light.
On?
On.
Where?
Like a lighthouse, the northernmost room of the 3rd story. This is from you approaching it on your left-hand side, at the front of the building.
You see that up there?
Yes.
I reckon that's our destination.
Seems like it.
He's going to step out of the car. He feels a little bit naked without his gun.
Step out of the car.
Mm-hmm.
Make a perception awareness check, please.
All of us?
The minute you step out of the car.
Yeah.
I think we'd all go out together at that point.
I presume you will.
Difficulty?
7.
No. 0.
1 success.
1 success.
3.
3 successes. Fantastic. For Kevin, it is another place. Spooky, scary, perhaps, but a lot of things are that you are discovering in Kindred Society.
It's a mental asylum. It's got that aura anyway.
Yeah. This place, for Vincent, is slightly off-putting. It's not a place that you would take children. And it is unfortunate that there are childer in there that have been confined there for many years now. Poor souls. Probably should have been released from such torment with final death, unless they have successfully cured them. You don't sense anything other than this place is a place of evil. Bad things have happened here. Bad things still happen here for Isabella.
Right.
You know this. There is malice and ill will in not just the building, but the earth itself. This hill feels like you are perched just before the maw of Satan himself. This is an evil place. A place where bad things happen to the good and the bad. It does not discriminate. It's a nasty place.
Mon Dieu.
It is a violent place. It is a place which enjoys suffering.
Isabella, are you okay?
This is, we tread on unholy ground. Something is here. This place, it swallows things up.
I mean, fuck, it's like a shag on a rock, isn't it?
I'm sorry?
It's a lonely place.
Yes. It's... No. Something is here. Something. But it seems to be on the very ground that we walk. We must be careful because this could be the end of us.
How would you like to approach?
On guard.
Yeah.
Are you going to go straight in, or are you going to do a
Walk around the
walk
building.
around the
Yeah,
building?
absolutely.
Yeah. That seems to have done good for us so far, covering all our bases and not just running in.
What you find behind the building is a small garden area with a wall surrounding it. The wall is 8 foot high. Who has?
Investigate.
Would like an intelligence roll plus either crafts or investigation, whichever is lower.
You bastard. I got nothing in craft.
I got nothing in craft either, but I do have...
Ha! You fools!
I have 5 intelligence, though. Difficulty.
The difficulty is 6.
Oh, fuck.
Botch.
I'm rolling well, but I'm always rolling ones with it, so nothing.
4.
4 successes and a botch.
I botch.
And
Okay.
a miss.
It's difficult to botch this, but
You
do.
manage it.
You manage it.
But I did it! So yay me!
so you are, for this botch to work, Isabella is quite moved emotionally by what she's about to hear.
Mm-hmm.
And Vincent, I presume you're going to describe this.
Sure.
These walls have etchings in them. They're marked all along the walls.
You see Vincent approach the walls a little bit closer. He obviously notices something and his interest is piqued, his eyebrows raise, and he starts studying the wall closely from mere inches away.
When you see Vincent approach the walls, you see what he's drawn to, the gouges in the wall, and he begins to describe that these are not just gouges created with chisel or with any implement. These are hand markings that have worn through the stone, where the inmates would wait their long days, milling around, walking around, confined to this small garden, where their hands would drag along the wall, and as their hands dragged along the wall, they would wear down the wall and create these deep, deep cuts.
No, Vincent, arrête, I cannot. I don't want to hear this.
The poor souls locked in here had nothing to do but trace their hands across these walls over and over until they died.
Mon Dieu, Father, forgive us.
Is there anything else around the garden or the walls?
Roses, overgrown, a small water feature.
The time when this occurred is long gone, Isabel.
Does that mean suffering is long gone?
Sadly, no.
It's in this place. It remembers. So maybe we should too.
I agree. But you need to steel yourself.
Okay, I will try.
Your sensitivity can be useful, but don't let it overwhelm you.
Look, mate, I don't think we're going to find anything around here. It's best we stay away from this garden and let's head on to where's really important right now. There's nothing else to see here.
Eyes open.
Roll alertness, wits, difficulty 6.
0 successes.
5 successes.
2.
You hear nothing, Vincent. Isabel, you hear the sound of glass breaking from inside the house. Kevin, your ears notice not just the sound of glass breaking, but it appears to be from the 3rd floor, and there are footsteps that accompany it. And just out of earshot, a peal of laughter. Like a child. Like a small child.
Did you hear that?
We have to move quick and we have to move quietly. There is something in there, it is on the move, and it is going quick.
I'm right behind you.
Kevin's, when he hears that, he gets that describing, he motions for him to follow, and he's going to quietly and stealthily as much as he can get to the 3rd
Roll
floor.
stealth, deck stealth, and the others of you roll it as well. And you're moving to the back door. Again, a double door.
What are we beating?
Difficulty 6.
2.
2 successes.
I'm spending willpower.
You're spending willpower.
Would have been a botch, so...
1 success.
1 success.
Very good.
5 successes.
5 successes.
I'm so glad I spent
2.
that willpower. Oh my god. I was like, I've got 3 die to
Phil,
work
don't
with.
fuck us on this.
Vincent sneezes.
Kevin takes the lead and gestures for the others to follow. Stealing himself, Vincent follows, trying his very best not to make a noise. Isabel follows gracefully, with reverent steps. You make your way to the back door. It is locked. There is no padlock. Seems like a single heavy key would fit through. You could try and break through, or you could try and find the key, or any other options that you might come up with.
Can't get in the windows.
No.
No, we either find a key or we break in.
What's the likelihood of us finding a key? Probably in someone's possession.
Whatever is in there might need to be locked in. That is my thought.
I heard a kid.
Sam or Chloe or something else.
Can you pick it?
I can try.
Go for it.
What am I rolling with that? Because I have nothing on larceny. So
It is Dex larceny.
Oh, you don't have larceny? Okay.
But I have fucking great decks.
Yeah.
Oh, that ain't good. Oh, wait, no. 1, 2 successes, because I've got a 10 there, which discounts the 1.
Difficulty 6. Yep.
Yeah, 3 successes.
Yay.
Just to be clear,
That cancels that one.
yeah, 2 successes.
You manage to pick the lock. It's fairly old, so it's not actually that difficult.
It's not like a sophisticated...
It's not a sophisticated
lock or
tumble
anything,
lock
yeah.
or anything
Yeah.
like that. What you do is you get you get one of their knives, stick it in. It sort of fits. You jimmy around a bit, turn it around, use the handle a bit. That seems to work,
Yeah.
and you basically force the lock.
It's an ungraceful lock pick.
It's a yes, and it's an unsophisticated breach, but it works. The door swings wide, ready for you to enter.
He'll motion once again. We're being quiet, we're being quick to the 3rd floor.
Now, you two, I'm presuming you return that knife?
Yeah.
Great.
They need it more than I do.
You enter
Kitchen knife in hand.
You enter in and you find yourself in a long hallway, a long corridor. In the center of this is a staircase that leads up, but you're not facing the correct way. You presume if you entered into the building from the front,
It's right there.
immediately be there.
Or if you go like around it.
But you have to go around. To your left and to your right are rooms. You presume on the one on your left is a kitchen of some sort. The one on the right appears to be a washroom of some sort. There is glass all over the place.
Right. Can we hear anything?
No.
Should I want to see if I can smell anything.
You can use heightened senses to increase your hearing.
Yeah, probably hearing is
and-
best bet.
I'd like to also have like a bit of like an investigation of the glass that I'm seeing around the place, seeing if I can discern, where it's coming from. Is there blood? Like, is there anything I can discern from the forensics that are there?
Good look. You won't need to roll for this.
Yep.
This glass is from all over the place. This isn't glass from the building. This is just glass.
Like bottles and things?
Bottles, different colours. Looks like a bit of stained glass at one point.
It's just literally
There's
glass
just
all over the
lots
place.
of glass on the floor. It's not covering the floor that you can't move without crunching.
Yeah.
You can walk around it and
Okay.
you can avoid it, but there's just glass everywhere. Just everywhere, and all sorts of different types.
Is there any blood or vitae that I can see as just glass that's just been dropped on the floor or
Not that you can
whatnot?
see.
Yeah.
I've got one success.
One success. Oh, no, you activate heightened senses. You
Oh.
don't need to roll for it.
Oh, okay.
So you activate heightened senses, and your hearing is increased. The building seems to breathe now that you've opened that door.
And I'm not picking up anything else. It's just
You
like
can. You hear the quiet footfalls of someone 2 stories above you. 1 story above you.
Someone's coming down.
Hug the shadows.
Do we
You've
hit?
already rolled stealth. I'll
Yeah.
keep that roll. You won't need to roll again.
Where we can see the staircase quickly.
The staircase creaks.
Someone shut the door.
Kevin will quickly dart to...
You run to shut the door.
Yep.
You should pull it shut. It's hard to do that quickly and quietly. What would you like to do?
I'd like to use my celerity to dart forward, shut it quickly, quietly, and then to dart to the nearest shadows.
What I'm
before-
saying is that you won't be able to do it quickly and quietly.
it'll have to be one or the
It'll
other.
be one of the other, one of 2.
Well, then it's going to have to be quietly.
Okay. Without using celerity, you carefully pick your way to the door and carefully pull the door shut. The person or thing is on the ground floor. Just behind that staircase.
Kind of motion for the others in a kind of way to like
We're sort of next to each other, I'm
Yeah.
guessing. Yeah.
The door
just to
shuts.
kind of like hear
Yeah.
motion.
I don't want to let whatever it is out. That's why I was like,
Yes.
close the fucking
Yeah,
door.
yeah.
The door shuts, and from the staircase you hear a heavy thump. And then steps up the staircase. 1, 1, 1,
They sense the door is open.
1, 1. And they're on the landing of the 2nd floor.
Stay together.
The creak of wood above you bends as the house groans with movement within.
There's no delaying it. We must confront whoever is here.
Kevin has a short little nod.
Make sure the door is shut behind us.
The door is very shut.
No, as we head in.
Oh, right.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So we begin
So-
climbing the staircase.
You
Yeah.
make your way to come around to the front of
if
the
we had
staircase.
hearts, they'd be beating
Are
quite
your
fast.
are your knives are your knives
Well, we
out?
have hearts. If they beat, they'd be beating
Mhm.
fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If the knives aren't out, if like Isabella
Oh yeah,
doesn't,
knives
I'd say,
out.
like
Knives out.
Yeah.
Shields up, knives
You
out.
come around to the front of the staircase, and at the bottom of the staircase, you see a corpse. Not a human corpse.
That was the
A
thud.
carcass of some meat thing, bloody and torn apart. Do any of you have animal ken?
Nope.
Hmm.
No, I don't have it.
It's an animal of some kind.
It's
though.
an animal of some kind.
I'm going to look at Vincent and just motion.
Are you going
like,
to look at it, or are you going to keep on going?
Kevin will
Can I
look at
take
it.
a quick look at it?
Absolutely, you can. Having a quick look and taking a little bit of time to look at it,
Mm.
you realise that it was a cow.
It's like a haunch or something.
It is. It's the back half of a cow. Still heavy. That would have taken superhuman strength to carry down. The half end of a cow.
Do Malkavians possess the discipline of potence?
They shouldn't.
Not naturally.
Okay.
Unnaturally, I suppose.
Mm.
Do mention anything else worth.
This was once a cow.
It's
A
hard
large
to tell.
chunk of one, probably.
It doesn't look as though it's been fed upon in a way that you imagine a vampire would destroy something by bleeding it dry.
It looks like it was torn apart in anger or
Violence
or
speaks from it.
But not for food.
Potentially, maybe a little bit.
perhaps that is not the main intention, it seems.
You remember the finger we found torn off?
Yes, vividly.
Something was encountered. Could be here tonight.
I think information may not be all we find
You
tonight.
hear laughter.
Kevin's going to put a finger to his lips. He's going to start making his way up the steps.
Follow.
Mm-hmm. Follow.
You follow? You
Up
begin
onto
to
the landing.
make your way up to the landing. On the landing, you find very much the opposite of glass without vitae.
Vitae without
Blood
glass.
is on the walls.
Well-
it's smeared. Not in lettering or
Okay.
anything like that, but it is smeared across the walls. Is it blood? Is it vitae? It's hard to tell.
Let's find out.
Mm. There is a lot of it.
There's a moment of pause where we all kind of like see the gruesome sight,
Take it in.
and then I gesture just like a wait, just hold my hand up briefly, close my eyes for a moment, and reach out and touch the blood.
You touch the blood. You cast your spell. For these intents and purposes, you will succeed. It is regular blood.
Kine blood.
And animal.
Kine and animal blood. A lot of it.
Fuck me.
Somehow something has either been taken up here or...
I think these kindred have been given the run of this place and fed in a rather uncontrolled manner.
You see to your left, the landing goes on for a little bit before another flight of stairs, which leads up. And to the north, which is where you would...
Seen the light?
Yes.
I wish
No,
I
it would-
translated to podcast.
Hold on. 2 seconds while I figure out my orientation.
Like,
Chris is
Maybe.
Go on his mental
Mental-
mind palace.
Yeah.
he's deep in his mind palace right now. For a while, can you see the dents in my hand from gripping my dice?
Are you enjoying?
No,
No,
there's blood on the walls.
Okay.
There's blood everywhere.
On the landing, if you turn to your left, you see a staircase which leads up and where light spills from.
Did the retreating figure go up 2 flights?
Here's a point.
It was on the landing. The
Is
last I
there
heard.
is there blood on the floor?
No.
There's no blood on the floor.
No blood on the floor.
So there's no way to...
Smeared on the walls.
There's no way to...
Smeared on
Damn.
the
I was going to say,
walls.
if he's
See
gone through the
prints.
blood, or she, we could have seen where the figure had gone.
You aren't...
I think it's old
You
blood.
do have
It's
your
dry.
heightened senses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they were with a cow.
It didn't go to the 3rd floor.
It stayed on the landing.
It's on your floor.
It's on this
Yeah.
floor. Yeah.
Still with your heightened senses.
Yeah.
You do hear another sound that is coming from the floor above you. You hear a creak to your right, away from the sound of light, and another one above you.
So I want to kind of point one
One above.
up, one to my
Right.
right, which is on the landing, correct?
That's correct.
2 total.
Oh, well, let's just split up and go through different ways.
God damn it, Sean.
That always goes well.
Kevin was just... You mentioned those 2 noises. He
Mhm.
said, that's where the light is. If the other noise is the other thing, it stands to reason the most time we can spend not in the face of that thing might be the better for us.
That thing might be why we're here.
So might that light.
So, up.
I'm following you.
I think it's probably
Yeah.
best.
Mm-hmm.
You begin making your way towards the light.
Creeping.
Damned if we do, damned if we don't.
Yeah,
you know
I
what
mean, it's danger either way.
There's
right?
2, so
Yeah.
I just didn't want to be stuck on the 3rd floor of this thing
It's-
between us and the exit.
It's hard for you to tell because of the noise the 2 of you make. Just natural sounds that creatures moving through space make. But for Isabella, you do feel as though the creature that was on the landing with you is following you.
God.
yep. Another motion as in behind us.
And it
But-
may get between you and the staircase.
Right.
Although we're kind of killing 2 birds with 1 stone, aren't we?
It's cutting us off.
He doesn't want us to go. Fuck.
do we confront this one that's obviously interested in us, knows we're here already?
Yep.
And wants to stop us from going to a place that we need to go to.
Yep. I want to put my hand out, wait, raise the knife that's in my hand, and drop it loud enough.
Clang.
Kevin's eyes widen.
The sound echoes through the house.
There goes stealth.
Well,
It's what my character would do.
but also it's going to cut us off either way.
Yeah.
The
So-
sound echoes through the house. The two movements, one on the landing, one above you, both shift and move.
Me.
Nothing happens.
Kevin's going to look over at Isabella, eyes wide.
Which way are you looking, Isabella? Are you looking towards the light, or are you looking towards the dark behind you?
Towards the dark behind me.
You see a figure run from one side of the house to the other, across the landing, from one room to the other. On the other side, on the far side of that staircase.
Hang on. So I'm looking away from.
The light is above us on the stairs.
Yes. So it's gone. Fuck me.
Let me do a drawing.
I am
Okay, so
stressed.
sorry.
Are we going to call out? Like, is someone going to
Yeah.
say something? I feel like it's you.
Yeah.
The figure ran across the landing.
Chloe? Sam?
You hear a response. You can't use those words!
Then tell me what words I can use.
That's cheating! Those words come from closer to you, the landing.
Are we playing a game?
Aren't we?
What are the rules?
That's cheating!
Well, I want to see my competitor face to face.
That's cheating!
Why don't you make the first move then?
Silence.
Kevin's going to take a step towards the light landing, the light staircase.
Okay.
A very deliberate, strong step.
There is no response.
And he's going to take another. Basically, he's going to give a few beats between each one. If the goal is to head there, maybe that's the game. He's trying to draw them out.
You step towards.
Yep.
Okay.
I really don't know what the fuck to do. And I think Vincent's well out of his wheelhouse here. I think he's secretly quite afraid.
Yeah.
He's a
Just-
paranoid man.
Yeah, he's paranoid and he's an academic. Like, he shouldn't be running around in haunted asylums in the the late hours of the night. Like, he wants to be back
with his books.
in his study with his books. He's basically terrified.
Yeah.
Let's see how much.
Just trying to keep a hold on it. So if I'm not saying much,
Yeah,
it's just
yeah.
because Vincent doesn't. He's almost paralyzed.
Let's see how much I can draw out from this other one.
So to that end, basically I'll be sticking really close to the Bruja.
Yeah.
Okay.
He is like my bodyguard right
Okay.
now.
Kevin's intention, by the way, is quite clear. It's move towards the goal,
Yep.
and if something moves,
Okay.
he wants to use his celerity to grab it.
Okay.
I want to kind of see how much I can glean from the one on the floor with us.
Mm-hmm. What are you going to ask? Or are you going to ask?
Yes.
That's cheating.
No. No, it's not.
I mean, when a Malkavian makes the rules, anything
yeah.
can be cheating.
It is cheating.
I think someone painted the walls.
You hear no response.
It's very pretty, no?
Still none.
I think whoever did this might have been angry.
Again, no response.
Kevin, by now, unless
You have got
undisturbed,
to the base
will be at
of
the bottom
that
of the stairs.
staircase.
And I'm like,
You look
I'm
up.
like right behind you.
What you see is a room filled with light, wooden ceiling above. Like, so looking into that room, you can see that ceiling, the room that you're looking into, has a wooden ceiling.
Isabella, are you with us, or are you further?
I'm still downstairs. Well, I'm still looking out to this figure.
Yeah. Kevin's going to make a motion so Isabella knows that he's heading up.
What did this? The one above or the one below?
No response.
Kevin takes a step up and starts to head up the stairs.
Okay. I will get to that scene in just a brief
All
second.
good.
You will make your way all the way up to the top of those stairs. Do you ask any more questions? And do you follow? Or are you going to stay there by yourself?
If you look back at us, you see Vincent, like, terrified, looking over his shoulder at you. Like, stay close, his eyes seem to say. Like he's almost paralyzed. He doesn't say anything.
Yeah.
He has barely spoken since he came in here.
I think she would try and stay with the one that's down here. If not to draw it out, then to just make sure that there's one thing up there with you.
Play the game. There's many players. You're taking the other one.
Exactly. And this one seems to be at least engaging, so it hasn't heard us yet. So I'm probably going to stay on this floor.
Okay.
Enjoy the final dance.
That was an interesting choice, Elle.
And it's done.
Now I'm dead. Again.
Kevin and Vincent, you find yourself in a well-lit room with white paper on most of the floor and drawings all over. They seem to be actually quite good drawings. In charcoal and black ink. Yeah, nice. Spirals and circles, paintings of images. I think, actually, having a look, you can see you've seen the prince. That's him. It's a painting of the prince.
That's
right
the
there.
prince.
That's the prince. It's right there. Oh, and that's you.
Oh.
That was going to be my next question.
Yep. I saw that coming. With the pause, I was like, that's us.
Just Vincent or all three of us?
All three of you.
Together.
What are we doing?
You're all together. You all look like you're in, as if posed. It's a separate photo for each, a separate painting,
yeah.
art piece. You're all in sort of profile. You're not doing anything. It's just your headshot, effectively.
Like a cameo.
Yeah.
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 There no expression on our face.
No, you seem very neutral.
Okay.
Looking around, you see a small rocking chair and a table and two wooden boxes, which you quickly identify as coffins.
What's in the box?
Kindred sleeping spots.
What's in the box?
They are open.
Oh. And they're probably... Are they in the middle of the room, or are they kind of more towards a...
They're towards the wall.
Towards the wall of
Pushed
the
off
room.
to one side.
So they're not set with any sort of prominence within the space of the room. I mean, the first thing Kevin's going to do... Is the table closer?
Is the table
You mentioned
closer?
there was a
Yes.
table.
Yes, it is.
Yes. He'll head over to the table first, see if there's anything that's on there before...
I've got my head on a swivel. I'm like, is the one up here around? Can I see him? Is moving? Was there a male and a female voice? We've heard two voices.
We've heard a child's
You've
voice.
heard a child's voice.
And that's it.
Which, if you're looking to identify its gender,
Yeah.
it's difficult, but you presume male.
And he was calling to us from the landing, from the second floor.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
We've only heard footsteps from this floor and breaking glass. Is there any broken glass in this room?
No. On the table, you find art supplies. Chalks,
The charcoal,
paints,
yeah.
canvases, watercolours, acrylics.
Kevin's going to move over to the coffins.
Okay.
Hello. Someone speak to us, please.
I am stressed.
You hear no reply.
Adelaide by Night is a Baby Beard Media production. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And all our podcasts are available on Spreaker, YouTube, and all good podcatchers. Portions of the materials are the copyrights and trademarks of White Wolf Entertainment AB and are used with permission. All rights reserved. For more information, please visit white-wolf.com. This season of Roll2Cast is made by fans, for fans, and is not officially licensed material of White Wolf Entertainment.